going to show you some more of the somewhat unexpected things that you just have to be prepared for when you get into something like this. This trailer, let's see, it's a 1979, so it's 51 years old. Is that right? No. Well, now 41 years old. That don't seem right. Yeah, whatever. I've told you in the other videos that you know, problems just in fixing the floor and things I ran into. Well, this trailer is kind of twisted out of shape a little bit over the years, and it's not surprising. I say these are just 2x2 walls. And anyway, what the problem has turned out to be is that my door frame is not square, because the trailer is not square. And I don't know, since and I know you can't see that from where I've got the camera set, but the plywood down here at the bottom is straight and flat. The out of square part, as it is right now, is down at the bottom. Let me grab my framing square. See, that's very close now. Out here at the end, maybe a 1/16 of an inch high on this side. Maybe not even that. It's hitting, you know, but just a little bit, just a hair off there. And this side, the same. Now, this side, I've got about an 1/8 inch here. And I tried to get it to where the top and sides are square. There's no way to make it square all the way around unless I took basically the whole body off of the trailer and re-squared the stud walls. I say, yeah, way too much work. It's just really just a ridiculous proposition. There's no way to do that. So what you have to do is do your best to get it as square as you can. And so what I'm getting to is what I've done to do that. You can see here, I have a short piece of wood here. I think that was about 5/8 of an inch thick. I put that up here to kick the top of this door jamb this way to get it squared up as best I could. But now down at the bottom, and I won't bother adjusting the camera to show you, but down at the bottom, both of these are tight together. So that tells you that from bottom to top, I was about 5/8 of an inch out of square here. Now, if the trailer was sitting perfectly level, some people might would have used a 4-foot level. And in homework, building homes or whatever, that's what I would have done. Part of the door frame leaning against the outside of the trailer just fell. It's windy. Anyway, I would use a 4-foot level if the trailer was sitting level. But since the trailer is not level, and I saw no point in doing that, because it would still work out that something would be out of square. So there's no point in going to all the trouble of leveling up the trailer, which is actually to say making the floor of the trailer level side to side and front to back. There's no point in doing that when everything is structurally tweaked anyway. So, to compensate, I kick this over about 5/8 of an inch, and then here, this piece is about 18 inches long, and it's about a 1/2 inch wide, thick. And then successively down here, I ended up planing this piece down a little thinner than I intended to, so I just ended up putting another thinner piece in beside it. And then down here, if you can see this, there's a piece down here that's just about 1/4 of an inch wide. And then I didn't bother trying to put anything below that, because shortly there they're both together anyway. But that's what I did to get this side square. And my main objective really, and I don't know, I think everything will work out. We'll see when I go to put the door frame in. But my main objective, this over here, this is the hinge side of the door. And this is the side that I was most concerned with having square, because the door has to come in. The only thing that will be a problem potentially, and I'm sure I'm going to have to do something one way or the other, but when I put the door frame in over here, I'm going to raise it up, or in intending to, I'm going to raise the door frame up as high as I can over here on this side. And then I'll have to see if the door wants to hit at the top, then I'll have to lower it down. But one way or the other, when I'm done, the gap between this door header and the top of the door frame, and which this is the top of the door. By the way, I put this door in with this, it's got this dark side because it's so light outside. I was afraid the light in here, even though I've got my big LED light over here on, I was afraid that it'd be too much backlight and you wouldn't be able to see. That's why I did that. But set the door up there to block some of the outside light. But we'll see. And on this side over here, I actually didn't use any spacers like I did over there. I did reinforce it. If you remember me talking about it, I will pivot this over and down. Hopefully that'll be enough to show you. I put this piece in and I notched it out, if you can see this. This is the old piece that was already there, and I needed to come over a certain amount down here And what I did was I cut a piece that would go all the way to the top of this, and then I notched it out to fit under it. That way this new piece that I put in is giving support to this lateral stud. And then I put in another piece here up to this window header. And this window header, I don't know how well you'll be able to see it. You can see how dark this is here. Well, it was water damage. And by the way, in the earlier videos, I told you I thought the water damage had come in at the front corner of the trailer and come down. Well, I did figure out, I hadn't said it, but I did figure out that no, I think all the water had come in around the door and just ran down, and that's why the base of the stud wall was rotted out, and I had this damage up here. Of course, the water coming in around the door is not going to set up here. Most of the water is going to run down and get down to the bottom and then saturate the bottom of the stud wall and everything, and that's where the water is going to go. So, but it did cause some damage here. The end of this window header is pretty soft. I'm picking out little pieces of it here, and I put four 4-inch long screws. They probably run all the way back to about here. And that being soft though, I needed something else, so I had to put this piece in to support it there. And so this is all now, I'm going to be able to wiggle it. Most of that little bit of wiggle will go away once I put the new paneling on the inside. The new paneling is 1/4 inch thick. When it's put on there and nailed to everything, then that little bit, most of that will be gone. But I wanted to show you what I've done there to get my door frame square, and hopefully there'll be room to get the door in. And it's going to be low on one side or the other at the bottom. If I had it close by, which I actually do, this set my light back up. Put my framing square down. I'm getting close to my 15 minutes here too, a minute and a half or so. This is the door sill. It would go in like this, down there on the floor, and the side frames that come loose. This was originally welded together, but you can see, I think maybe on this, you can see this. This is where the inside screen door was rubbing on this because it was out of square before, and it had rubbed pretty good here, out here a little bit there, so it's just showing how out of square it was. So I'm going to shut this off now, and I'll be back on in a bit showing you another thing I'm going to have to do on the outside.